Yo, welcome guys. Welcome to one of the best gaming channels on YouTube, or I hope so. Anyway, my name is Guns and Sympathy, aka Wolf Goblin. I hope you guys loved my video. Welcome to my channel. It's everything gaming related, comedy, everything, entertainment packed in it, man. So, I hope you love it. Guns and Sympathy out.
Sprinkle jelly donuts are awesome.
Hey guys, this is Guns of Sympathy here with a whole new video. And what is this about, guys? What is this video about? I'll tell you what this video about. This video is about Bioshock Infinite, and as you can see here, I am playing Bioshock, the first Bioshock, because 2 sucks in my opinion, and I don't even have 2 anymore. But anyway, I have Bioshock 1 footage for you guys to watch while I commentate this amazing video. I put this video together, put a lot of effort into it, guys. And this video, beware, this video is pretty long, so bear with me. I promise you this video is awesome. And basically what we're going to discuss in this video, guys, is everything Bioshock. You know, everything related to Bioshock, how Bioshock Infinite and this Bioshock relate together, and everything like that. Basically everything Bioshock, all the information you need to know about Bioshock, and you know, all that. So guys, I hope you love this video, and well, let's get started. Okay, so as you guys know, Bioshock 1 and Bioshock Infinite are made by my idol, Rational Games main director Ken Levine. I don't even consider this video. Also, we do not discuss Bioshock 2. The reason for that is Bioshock 2, I don't even consider that a Bioshock game. It was just that bad. It was developed by 2K China. It was nothing like our original Bioshock game. It was just complete shit. I don't even consider that game a Bioshock game. And Ken Levine, the brain of the Bioshock and System Shock series, was not in Bioshock 2. So that was one of the biggest main failures of Bioshock 2. They didn't have the brain of Bioshock within it. And Ken Levine already said in multiple interviews that he had no say in Bioshock 2. And he was not behind it at all. However, let's continue. I could diss Bioshock 2 all day. I hated Bioshock 2. Bioshock 1 and Bioshock Infinite are the true Bioshocks. In my opinion, in my perspective, guys, Bioshock 2 was so bad, I don't even consider that a Bioshock game. So, this game, you don't have to worry about Bioshock 2 if you hate it. Fuck Bioshock 2. Didn't like it. It was horrible. Ken Levine wasn't in it. Therefore, it sucked, in my opinion. Without further ado, once again, let's continue. Okay. So let's start off with saying I am insanely excited for Bioshock Infinite, guys. It comes out this month of the 26th, March 26th, 2013. I am excited for it. Gonna get it the day it comes out, definitely. And I've been waiting for this game since 2010. You know, I remember coming home from school being like, you know what, I wonder if there's any Bioshock Infinite news coming out. Or I wonder if there's any, anything Bioshock that's new that I should know of. and I would always go on IGN.com or GameTrailers.com or GameSpot.com or GameSpy.com. Any of those really good mainstream gaming websites to find out, when's it coming out? Are they? Is the process of the game going good? Anything new that I haven't seen with Bioshock Infinite? All of that stuff, and I'm so hyped and pumped for this game. Bioshock Infinite is the biggest anticipated game of 2013 that I am excited for, and I am really, really excited to looking forward to. So without further ado, let's go into the depth and detail of this video. Okay, let's start off with the similarities to Bioshock 1 and Bioshock Infinite. As you guys should know, there is a guy called Zachary Hale Comstock. He's the leader of the Founders, which is a group of people in Bioshock Infinite. And the Founders are an ultra-nationalist party that founded the floating city of Columbia. And Zachary Comstock is the one who made the Founders. Obviously, I said the leader of the Founders, so therefore he is the creator of the Founders, which founded Columbia and or created Columbia. This compares just like to Andrew Ryan, which is the founder and or creator of the infamous Rapture of Fallen Dystopia. And for you guys that have not played Bioshock 1, shame on you people if you haven't. But if you have not played Bioshock 1, well, basically the game takes place in 1960, where you play as the protagonist known as Jack, and you crash land into the Atlantic Ocean and an airplane flight, crash into the Atlantic Ocean, find this tower, and basically take a submarine elevator-like contraption to Rapture. And you soon find out that Rapture is a fallen dystopia. It is gone to pieces, and it's really, really bad. As you can see in the gameplay here, this is Rapture. Rapture has been overrun by splicers. Splicers are basically human beings that have used plasmids, the power to give human beings superpowers. They basically overdose on plasmids and have gone haywire, and the plasmids are a drug, so therefore the drug has basically fucked them up and turned them into crazy paranoid-like monsters, as you can say. But anyway, back to Bioshock Infinite. They're similar in a way because Andrew Ryan is the founder and or creator of the infamous Rapture, once again a fallen dystopia, and Zachary Hale Comstock is the founder of the ultranationalist party that founded the floating city of Columbia. So Bioshock Infinite and Bioshock 1 are similar in ways, and this is one big way. Bioshock Infinite and Bioshock 1 are similar because both games have the setting of a specific founder, basically the top dog of each utopia for each game. So I just wanted to tell you guys that. So they're similar in ways where, Bioshock 1, Andrew Ryan was the founder of Rapture, which is a utopia, which is a utopia, but sadly falls into the category of a dystopia, while Bioshock Infinite has similarities, just like Bioshock 1, where the founder is Comstock. He founded Columbia, and so those are similarities right there. The similarities right there are basically both games have founders of each city, which the player inhabits and explores the environment. So the games are similar like that. Both games have founders of the environment they inhabit in and explore in, which are utopias. That's what they're called. Columbia and Rapture are utopias. Okay. What was I going to say? So, both games do have founders for the environment the player inhabits and explores for the moral of each story. Since both games are closely similar in the perspective of which both have utopian-like settings. And also, guys, the developer of Irrational Games main director Ken Levine, which is one of my favorite game developer directors, he favors dystopian-like settings in his games. Like I said, Columbia went to hell. Rapture went to hell. Ken Levine, the reason why his games stand out is because his first-person shooters, basically, and I just an overview and reminder, guys, if you didn't know, Ken Levine is the main director, basically the brain of the System Shock and Bioshock series. So I guess the reason why Bioshock and the Bioshock games have their own feel, their own distinct feeling to them, persona to them, is because Ken Levine was one of the first, I think he is actually the first game director that made his games based off dystopias. So Ken Levine, the reason why his games are so big and amazing and his ideas are so unique, he gives these beautiful, unique personas, is basically he picks eras in history which are important and are popular, like 1960, 1912. In this case, we're talking 1912 because of Bioshock Infinite. But anyway, the way his games are, the reason why his games are so unique is because he picks plots and settings for his games that no other game developer or game company has ever explored or took foot in. He basically created the unique persona for games and the moral of games to take place in a dystopia. And dystopias are basically utopias that have fallen into the wrong hands or have gone terribly wrong and they're falling apart. And for you guys that have not known what utopia means basically a haven. Utopia is basically promised to be an amazing place and or environment for people, basically like a heaven. But for some reason, in Bioshock Infinite and Bioshock, those heavens sooner or later turn to hell, which then causes a dystopia effect. Now anyway, that's why Ken Levine and the Bioshock games are so unique, is because the game developer, Ken Levine, makes his games into plots that no other, game developer, game company has stepped foot in, which is utopias later on turning into dystopias by a political reason of cataclysm within the game. That's why his games are so unique. What else do we got here? So, Ken Levine favors dystopian-like settings in this game, so that's why both, Bioshock games are very similar when it comes to plot and setting, and, in a positive case. So therefore, both games are similar in a way that the dystopias also both have founders, as I said before in the video. But the thing about Bioshock Infinite that may surprise you guys is, yes, Ken Levine loves making his games, his plots into utopias that later turn into dystopias by a big cataclysm that has occurred within the moral of the story of the game plot. Bioshock Infinite differs from Bioshock 1 because Bioshock Infinite is not a totally dystopian setting game. The player starts off by being in it while the city is falling apart, but a portion of it is still alive. Other words is, the protagonist, Booker DeWitt, which is the protagonist of Bioshock Infinite, differs from Bioshock 1 because while you enter the city, guys, while you enter Columbia, you are not totally in a city where it's totally falling apart. You enter hell. Bioshock 1 was like, oh, right there, I entered hell, fuck. And I have to find a way out and find all the shit. Bioshock Infinite differs in a way where the protagonist, Booker DeWitt, enters the city while it's not in hell, but a portion of it is in hell, but a portion of it is still alive. So basically, in other words, in a short-term way of speaking, Bioshock Infinite, the way you enter the moral of the story or the setting of the story is you enter the city, you enter you enter the place by entering it while it's not in hell. You're basically in the climax, I would say, maybe the rising action, so to speak, of when you enter Columbia. So you are not exactly in hell, you are basically in the rising action of it about to hit the climax, then go to hell. So that's where it differs. Basically, you go you enter the city while things are happening or things start to happen. Unlike Bioshock 1, where you enter it and the city's already fucked up. So, I'm sorry if I repeat myself, guys. I just really want to give you a fluid, flourished enough explanation of the game and everything. So that's how Bioshock Infinite is really unique. Here's another similar way Bioshock and Bioshock Infinite are very similar. Bioshock and Bioshock Infinite, like Bioshock 1, you have superpowers, but in Bioshock, the key to obtaining these powers was called, these different powers was called plasmids. And as you know, if you haven't played Bioshock 1, plasmids are basically these DNA turning drugs that basically give you the power to hold electricity, fire coming out of your fingertips, telekinesis, wasps shooting out of your vein canals, and etc. and etc. While in Bioshock Infinite, you have the very very similar powers like that, except they're called Vigors. And Vigors are like plasmids, except instead of injecting it into your veins, you are drinking it. So it's like a bottle. And also another different thing between Vigors and plasmids are in Vigors, you have a certain extent to the powers. So once you have the power, it's permanent. They haven't, Irrational Games really hasn't discussed that topic of the Vigors really well, or flourish enough for the audience of the game to really understand it. So it's just a way they're similar. So yeah, guys, so that's awesome. And as well, Vigors hold telekinesis, freeze, electricity, fire, and here's a new one that they've added in the game that Bioshock 1 has not touched, but it's similar to the Wasp ability. The Wasp Plasmid. In Bioshock Infinite, you have the power to shoot crows out of your shoulder, or so to speak, of where I'm assuming it comes from. And you shoot the crows like, yeah, bitch, take my ravens, they're gonna eat your eyeballs out. And you shoot them at the enemies, and they basically do the basic attack physics, just like in Bioshock 1 with the Wasps, except more deadlier, since they're crows, and yeah. Last thing I want to say that is not a similarity, but basically a big difference between Bioshock Infinite. After this topic that I'm about to discuss, guys, this part of the topic, I'm going to give you my opinions of Bioshock Infinite, what I think it's going to be like, and everything else. So without further ado, let's finish this topic. Okay. Infinite takes place before the first Bioshock. Before I go on, warning, Bioshock Infinite is not a sequel, it's not a prequel, it has nothing to do with the Bioshock I am playing right now. As much as awesome as the Bioshock I am playing right now is amazing, it has no connections to Bioshock whatsoever. It's a completely new different game. It's considered Bioshock because, well, it has the same elements and persona of a Bioshock game, and of what a Bioshock game should require and what's mandatory to make it a Bioshock game. So anyway, Infinite takes place, before I also go into detail with this, Bioshock and Bioshock Infinite take place in way two different time periods. That's another reason why they do not, basically connect in a direct circuit of, so to speak, of prequel or sequel wise. So, like I said, Bioshock Infinite is a totally different game. Bioshock Infinite takes place in 1912, and Bioshock, the one I'm playing, takes place in 1960. Like I said, guys, completely two different time periods. And just to let you guys know, I want to tell you guys also how you enter these utopias, or whatever you want to say. But let me hurry up because I'm wasting time telling you more information than my opinion. Anyway, let's do this quick. Bioshock, you basically experience an airplane crash in the Atlantic Ocean and find Rapture, while in Infinite, you are boat driven by two unknown people that we don't know yet to a lighthouse and eventually find a rocket ship contraption to launch you into Columbia. So, both games are similar in the type of way where you basically find a unique and way how to enter these utopias that later become dystopias. And also, guys, it's kind of weird and ironic how both games start out with a stormy nighttime setting, I guess, so to speak. But anyway, that's basically all the information I wanted to give you on Bioshock Infinite, how it's similar to Bioshock 1, and everything about the information about the game. Now it's time for the let's talk part of the video. Okay, Bioshock Infinite. I've been waiting so much for this game. I love Bioshock Infinite. I think it's going to be an amazing game. It's possibly going to do better than Bioshock 1. Now, Bioshock Infinite, the reason why I think I would like it more than Bioshock 1 as much as I love Bioshock 1. I love Bioshock 1, let me tell you. As much as I love Bioshock, I think I'm going to like Bioshock Infinite more, guys, because of the setting. I like how it's very political. And don't get me wrong, Bioshock itself, this Bioshock I'm playing, also has political topics and elements within the moral of the story. But Bioshock Infinite, I feel, has a much more stronger grasp on political feel, considering it's 1912. And, 1912, was a very patriotic time period. And Bioshock Infinite has more propaganda than the original Bioshock ever had. Now, Bioshock, it did have propaganda, but not as much as Bioshock Infinite. And I guess the reason why I think Bioshock Infinite will have a more fluid feel is because Bioshock Infinite has more propaganda to explain the moral of the story and how the persona of Columbia is. More propaganda, so more fluid feel on what the game is going to be like. What else? I also like, the new graphics engine, game-wise, physically built-wise. The game engine is improved dramatically. I believe it's Unreal Engine 4, I believe, and it's an amazing game engine. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Even this Bioshock, the graphics look absolutely gorgeous. I love it. But Bioshock Infinite, the graphics are outstanding, beautiful. They're beautifully flourished, implanted into the game. And I love the characters, I love the enemies, I basically love everything about the game. And at first I was like, when I first heard of Bioshock Infinite, I'm like, what the fuck? One of the reasons why I was disappointed when I heard about the game was number 2, Bioshock 2, I was a gigantic, huge disappointment, and it was complete shit. And another reason why was because, the city in the sky. I was like, what the fuck? The plot, the environment where the game takes place is so stupid. But until I saw the first gameplay trailer, and I knew that Ken Levine was going to be it from the first Bioshock, that wasn't in the second Bioshock, which is the reason why it sucked, I was like, oh my god, Bioshock Infinite is going to be fucking amazing. And guess what? It turns out that it is. And I really think that game is just amazing. I love it, and I cannot wait to get my hands on it. And that's basically why the reason why I really think that I'm gonna love Bioshock Infinite. And they have all these unique elements like the sky hook that you haven't seen in any other game, and the fast traveling system throughout the city is also very unique as well. There's just so many unique elements into the game to make its own persona, to make it an amazing game to me and for many other Bioshock fans. So basically, guys, the reason why I think I'm going to love Bioshock Infinite is the huge increase of propaganda to basically explain the moral of the story better. The graphics are better. The gameplay looks absolutely amazing. All new weapons, the Vigors and the tiers that I haven't talked about. The tier powers for Elizabeth look absolutely amazing and outstanding and very unique. And also the skyhook and many other stuff is very unique about the game. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. This video is coming to an end. I hope you loved this video. I hope I gave enough of my opinion on the game and what I think about it. I know I gave a little too much more information than my own opinion, but I think I gave a fair share of my opinion. Thanks, guys, for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment. Please like and come back for more. Thanks.